Imagine holding a golden coin in your hand that carries more than just monetary value. It holds history, mystery, and meaning. The 2000 Sacagawea Dollar Coin isn't just another U.S. Mint release. It's a national tribute to a Native American woman whose silent strength guided one of America's most legendary expeditions. But beyond the artwork and golden shine lies a world of fascinating facts, hidden rarities, and serious collector value. If you think this coin is common, think again. Today, we're diving deep into everything you didn't know about the 2000 Sacagawea Dollar and why it's so important. Back in the late 1990s, the U.S. Mint faced a challenge. The Susan B. Anthony dollar, which was launched in 1979, never really took off. It was too similar in size and color to the quarter, and people kept confusing the two. Most of them didn't even want to use it. It simply wasn't working. So a new coin was needed, something bold, something meaningful, and something that would stand out. Congress passed the United States $1 Coin Act of 1997, authorizing a completely new design. This was more than just a coin refresh. It was a chance to honor someone important, and that's where Sacagawea came in. Sacagawea was a Shoshone teenager who made an unforgettable impact on American history. In 1805, she joined the Lewis and Clark expedition, carrying her newborn baby on her back, as she guided the team through dangerous terrain and helped communicate with native tribes. Though she wasn't the official leader, her presence ensured peace, opened doors, and quite literally helped the expedition survive. She didn't ask for recognition, but over 200 years later, she would become the face of a powerful national symbol. When it came time to design the coin, the U.S. Mint wanted to do something different. Not just in shape or color, but in feel, a coin that connected people emotionally. The artist Glenna Goodacre was selected to create the front side, or obverse, of the coin. She chose to show Sacagawea with her baby son, Jean-Baptiste, looking over her shoulder. The gaze is soft, protective, yet strong. It's a moment of maternal love and historical strength captured in metal. Goodacre based the design on a real-life model, Randiel Hidao Teton, a young woman from the Shoshone-Bannock tribes. That connection added even more authenticity and meaning to the coin. The reverse, or back of the coin, featured a soaring eagle in flight, designed by Thomas D. Rogers Sr. It symbolized freedom, courage, and the American spirit, all tied together in one stunning image. The coin was struck with a manganese brass alloy, giving it a shiny golden color that immediately stood out. It wasn't actually gold, but it looked like it, and that helped separate it from other circulating coins like the quarter or half dollar. When the Sacagawea dollar was released in 2000, the U.S. Mint went big. They didn't just put quietly into banks. They launched a full national campaign. For the first time, a coin was being marketed like a new product. Ads were made. Posters were printed. The U.S. Postal Service even gave Sacagawea dollars as change in post offices. Big retailers like Walmart helped distribute the coins at cash registers. The goal was clear: make the new dollar coin part of everyday life. Even with all the effort, though, the public didn't completely embrace it. Most Americans just weren't used to using dollar coins, and many still preferred paper bills. But something else was happening, something the U.S. Mint didn't plan for. Coin collectors were falling in love with it. And soon, they'd find out that some versions of the 2000 Sacagawea dollar were far more valuable than face value. Here's where things get exciting. In the year 2000, the U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins, more than 1 billion, actually. So yes, most of them are still worth just $1 today. But not all. A very small number of these coins were struck with something incredibly rare, a mule error. That's when a coin is struck using mismatched dies. In this case, the Sacagawea obverse was paired with the reverse of a Washington quarter, an error that should have never happened. Only a handful of these mule Sacagawea coins were discovered, and they became instant legends in the coin world. One of these error coins sold for over $150,000 at auction. Another fetched more than $190,000. Just think about that. A coin that should be worth $1 selling for nearly $200,000. And here's the craziest part. These coins were found in regular bags sent to banks, mixed in with ordinary coins. That means people could have found one in their pocket change and not even known it. There's also something special about the Glenna Goodacre presentation coins. When the U.S. Mint paid Glenna Goodacre for her design, they gave her 5,000 specially struck Sacagawea dollars, not regular ones, but ones with a unique, satin-like finish. These weren't made for circulation. They were struck with special dies and handled with care. She later sold these coins to collectors, and because of their condition and story, They're worth far more than $1 today. Other rare varieties include coins struck on experimental planchets, coins with missing edge lettering, or those with weak details caused by die issues. The truth is, even though the Sacagawea dollar was mass-produced, collectors quickly learned that certain versions were far from ordinary. And that's part of the coin's lasting appeal. But beyond rarity and value, the Sacagawea dollar has cultural significance that can't be ignored. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a Native American woman, and the first with a baby on it. It broke molds in design, purpose, and message. For Native American communities, it was a rare national recognition. For history lovers, it was a chance to celebrate an often overlooked hero. And for everyday people, it was a coin that just looked and felt different, in a good way. Even today, decades later, the Sacagawea dollar continues to show up in conversations, coin collections, and YouTube videos like this one. And it's not just about the original 2000 release. The U.S. Mint went on to launch the Native American $1 coin program in 2009, which kept the Sacagawea obverse, but changed the reverse each year to honor different contributions by Native Americans throughout U.S. history. That legacy started with the 2000 coin, and it's still going strong. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who just enjoys learning about cool coins, the Sacagawea dollar stands out. It has a face full of meaning, a history that matters, and hidden secrets that could be sitting in someone's drawer or pocket right now. From mule errors to satin finishes, from post office giveaways to six-figure auction sales, the 2000 Sacagawea dollar is living proof that even modern coins can carry powerful stories and surprising value. Over the years, what began as a widely distributed coin slowly evolved into a collector's gem. As time went on, more details began to surface that turned this seemingly common coin into a treasure hunt. Collectors and dealers started paying close attention to the smallest variations: mint marks, strike quality, finish types, and even packaging. Every tiny difference could mean a huge leap in value. And when it comes to the 2000 Sacagawea dollar, there's more hidden beneath the surface than most people realize. One of the most iconic surprises came from an unlikely place: a cereal box. In a promotional partnership between the U.S. Mint and General Mills, specially struck Sacagawea dollars were placed inside Cheerios boxes in early 2000. These weren't just ordinary coins. They were among the first off the presses, sent as an early look at the new dollar. However, it was later discovered that these Cheerios coins had a subtle but important difference. The eagle on the reverse had enhanced tail feathers, more detailed and sharply defined than the ones on regular issue coins. At the time, almost nobody noticed. But years later, collectors who examined these Cheerios dollars closely realized what they had. These became known as Cheerios dollars, and because of their distinct design, they skyrocketed in value. In top condition, one of these coins can now sell for $3,000 to $7,000 or more, depending on the grading and market demand. That's a massive return for a coin that once sat next to cornflakes and plastic spoons. And here's the kicker. Thousands of these were distributed, but only a few have been properly identified, which means more could still be out there. People might unknowingly have a Cheerios dollar in their drawer, thinking it's just an ordinary coin. Another fascinating twist in the story involves the rare experimental coins created at the Mint in 1999. Before mass production began, the Mint tested different metals and striking methods. Some of these experimental coins were struck on different planchets, blank metal discs intended for foreign coins or other denominations. These extremely rare specimens somehow made their way into circulation. Imagine finding a Sacagawea dollar that's lighter, brighter, or the wrong color. In a few cases, collectors have found exactly that, and the value? Sometimes $10,000 or more, depending on the unique characteristics. One of the most exciting discoveries tied to the 2000 Sacagawea dollar was the Goodacre presentation dollar. As part of her payment for designing the obverse of the coin, Glenna Goodacre requested a portion in the form of coins rather than cash. The U.S. Mint agreed and delivered 5,000 specially struck coins to her. These coins weren't your average dollar coins. They were treated with extra care, struck with higher pressure, and preserved in pristine condition with a soft, satin finish. These were never intended for public circulation. Many of these coins were later sold by Glenna herself, and today they're some of the most desirable pieces in the series. In high grade, a Goodacre presentation Sacagawea dollar can fetch $500 to $1,000 or more. Then there's the extremely rare mule error. A mule is a coin that's struck with dies from two different types of coins, a mistake that's not supposed to happen. But in 2000, the mint accidentally paired the obverse of the Sacagawea dollar with the reverse of a Washington quarter. The result? A coin that features Sacagawea on one side and the familiar Washington Eagle quarter reverse on the other. Only a couple dozen examples of this error are known to exist, and each time one goes to auction, it creates serious buzz. The value? Some have sold for more than $150,000, and that number continues to rise as more collectors compete for these mythical pieces. Even the mint marks matter. Coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint P and Denver Mint D have subtle differences in strike strength, finish, and luster. Coins in pristine condition from these mints can bring serious premiums, especially in grades of MS 67 or higher. A 2000 P Sacagawea dollar in Mint State 68 can sell for hundreds of dollars, simply because it's so hard to find one without any blemishes, marks, or flaws. Collectors are also drawn to the proof versions of the 2000 Sacagawea dollar, especially those struck at the San Francisco Mint S. Proof coins are made using polished dies and planchets, creating a mirror-like surface with frosted details. These coins were never intended for circulation and were sold directly to collectors in sets. The 2000's proof is gorgeous, and in flawless PR70 condition, it can sell for $50 to $200, depending on market trends and the grading company. In the years that followed, the Sacagawea dollar was reimagined under the Native American $1 coin program, which began in 2009. While Sacagawea's portrait remained on the obverse, the reverse design was changed every year to highlight important contributions of Native Americans to the history and culture of the United States. This added a whole new level of interest for collectors, as each year brought a brand new design. But the 2000 coin will always be special. It was the first, the original, the trailblazer that started all. Another reason this coin remains in the spotlight is its consistent demand on the secondary market. Coin dealers, auction houses, and online platforms are constantly listing 2000 Sacagawea dollars in various conditions, with certain versions generating bidding wars. High-grade business strikes, Cheerios dollars, good Acker coins, mule errors, and experimental planchets are always in demand. Prices fluctuate with market trends, but the desirability stays strong, especially as more people start to realize that modern coins can hold just as much value as older ones. If you're wondering whether you might have a valuable Sacagawea dollar in your collection, here are a few things to look out for. First, check the reverse. Does the eagle have extra detail in the tail feathers? If so, you might have a Cheerios dollar. Next, look at the edge and surfaces. Is the coin unusually shiny or satin-like? It could be a presentation or proof strike. Check for mint marks P, D, or S, and note the condition. Even slight marks or scratches can lower the grade, but a flawless example can be worth many times face value. Grading plays a major role in the coin's value. Coins are typically graded on a 70-point scale, with 70 being perfect. For the Sacagawea dollar, Mint State 67 and 68 are considered very high grades. If you think you have a rare or high-quality piece, it might be worth having it professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC. A small fee can lead to a big payday if the coin turns out to be a top-tier example. Another angle to consider is the long-term potential. The Sacagawea dollar might not have been a hit in day-to-day spending, but as a collectible, it's become a quiet powerhouse. Many investors are now turning their attention to modern U.S. coins, seeing them as undervalued gems. Unlike older silver coins, Sacagawea dollars don't rely on metal content for value. It's all about rarity, condition, and demand. That makes them ideal for building a collection that's both meaningful and potentially profitable. For those new to coin collecting, the 2000 Sacagawea dollar is a great place to start. It's affordable in average condition, full of rich history, and offers the thrill of the hunt. You never know when you'll come across a hidden variety or a rare error coin.